Hi, everybody. Welcome to this day trade recap. Today is May 13th, and I worked with 3 stocks today. I put all of my trade plans for my trades ahead of time in my trade room for my trading students. And so they were able to see everything that I was planning, what I was thinking, what I was going to do, and how it followed through. The first stock that I worked with was Carvana, CVNA. It's a stock that I traded yesterday. It was deeply red yesterday when I got in the trade, and it dug its way completely out of the hole yesterday and actually ended on a green note yesterday. So that was a fun trade day. We did really well with it in the trade room, and it just played out beautifully. What I saw today was a continuation potential for this one. My trade plan was I had this is the halt level from yesterday, but I actually had that line drawn prior to the halt. It's just a daily level that I had identified on the daily chart. So that was a target yesterday. And today, since it was so close to that double line, I needed it to be support before I would get in. And here it was looking a little bit like resistance during pre-market. And so I just told coaching students that, hey, once it gets above this, if it can prove this double line, this $41 level as support, I will get in. And take it to this next line. Anyway, so at opening bell, it started to sell down, right? It sold down just to the view up, and then it bounced up. So I was able to get in just above this moving average that I have. I actually got in a little bit below this level, but I could see that it was using this as support, this view up. And so I got in a little bit under the level that I told the students I was going to get in on. Got in a little early, but that was fine. It worked out really well. Here it double proved the level and then went here. But I was able to get a little play right here that only took like a minute and a half, getting in at $40.75. And I went and my target was 42.50 there. And that's where I got out here. And then I just watched for it to pull back. I told the students, okay, we're going to let it pull back to support. And then if it proves this level as support again, it gives me a buy signal, then we'll take it to the next target line, which was 44.75. And here I got in on this one at $41.59. And it held pretty well. It came down to the 9 EMA here, and then it continued up, and I was able to exit right at my target line and did very, very well on that trade. So 2 trades, very green. It's all just a matter of knowing your levels, knowing your targets, and you can learn to draw these targets if you get really good at reading a daily chart. But really, this one, I used the levels from yesterday to find that level right here. As you can see, it did a gap fill to yesterday's high, basically. And so that was a pretty easy level to identify. So the next stock that I had mentioned in the trade room, the trade plan room, was RIVN. I saw this one during pre-market. It had very, very low volume. It was not tradable, but it had made this big move yesterday, right? It had made a really big move and held support levels really well. Here it was treating this as resistance, this level right here. Didn't like to get above there, but I thought, well, if it can prove that as support, then maybe it'll go to this next to this line. I was thinking it would go, and I didn't get in pre-market because it was just not much volume at all. I mean, it started to pick up a little here, but by then that's my target, and I wasn't going to do that. So I just waited till after bell, and we started to get some volume, but it was weak. So I did get in here. I like to get in above this moving average line that changes color. I was able to get in at what was it, $26.90 more or less. And my goal was to get to here, but it didn't do it, as you can see. So I got out right when it broke support here on this candle right here. I got out at 27.40-ish. So 40, 50 cents basically is what I made on that one per share. So I was green, but I wasn't terribly beautiful. Should have made more, but at least it was green. And I know I told the students I don't like this. This is a bad company. Overall, it's just not a good company. So really wasn't liking this stock, and I'm glad I just left it alone from that point on. VERU, VERU, is a stock that we traded the other day, and it came back online again today as a little bit of momentum picked up for it. If I go to the daily chart, you can see, or I'll just go to the 4-hour chart. You can see which day I traded it the other day on this little move and then this little move. But here it is. It's filling a gap. It had made a gap the other day, right? because this stock has some dilution going on. But when you have dilution, you have gap fill opportunities that just keep popping up all the time. So this had a nice little breakout. Let me show you how I do that. You just draw from the top of these peaks. And then when you see the candle break out, you can get in and it'll go and it'll fill a gap usually. And in this case, you're going to go to the recent gap. And I had a bunch of lines to indicate where I thought maybe those were. Turns out it was this one right here where these tops and bottoms were. And that's the 4-hour chart that I found those on. You can probably see it on the daily chart. But anyway, my game plan for this one was just for it to prove this red dash line as support. And once it does that, then I'll take it to this level and, you know, my next targets, okay? So if I zoom in, you can see what I was looking at. This is my classic buy signal right here. You have a little pullback and then a big candle bigger than those. And I got in at 10 or about $11. My target was 12. And I told the students in the trade plan room that that's exactly what I was looking for. Okay. Support on this dash line, take it to 12. Then we'll see what happens next. Well, here it proved support here, but I didn't get in on this candle. I hesitated and then I ended up getting in here. You know, I could see it was kind of holding this level, and the candles were getting really small. So I thought, well, I'm going to get in above this level. And I got in actually right at that level. Somehow I got in at like 1334 or something, or 35 it was. And my target was this double line, right? And I got out right at the double line, 14.25. So that wasn't bad at all. You know, basically $1 a share. It went a little bit higher. And like I say, this is just, if you go to your, like a 4-hour chart where you can see something that you can see what it's trying to do, right? You could see it was just filling a gap. And so if you can identify, just look for a higher time frame and identify, well, what levels does it need to break above or hold? And where does it want to go once it does that? And you'll know when you're going to enter and you know when you're going to get out. Had I got in clear back here at 9.56, I could have rode that all the way up to, you know, that $14 or $15 range, made $6 a share if I had done that. But I was being more cautious. I do know that this stock is a heavily shorted stock, as were all my other trades, the stocks I traded on today. But, you know, so I tend to be a little more conservative when I know they have a high short interest, because you never know when they're going to come do that rug pull on you and then everything's going to fall apart. But generally, if you can see the structure is holding up, you can keep trading these. Here, it didn't hold up. It needed to build support on this level. And as you can see, it broke quite dramatically and it came down. And now I'm looking at how it's holding this level, but you know, I think it's pretty much done with the gap fill, although it is holding this level really, really well. But anyway, that's how the trading went today for the 3 stocks that I traded. It was a really good day. And if you want to have really good days, you know, you can join our trade plan room. I don't say get buy now, sell now. I don't do that. I don't want you to follow my trades, but I do put out my logic. I put my plan out way in advance. A lot of times it'll be an hour or more in advance of what I'm looking for. Sometimes it's, you know, 5 minutes in advance. It just depends. But they get to see why I am looking at a stock and what I'm looking for and what I plan to do with it. So they get to see that. And if they want to trade, they have to understand why they're buying and why they're selling. But they know in advance how much money they're going to make on each and every trade. They know before they even click the buy button. And so if you want to be able to, you know, learn how to do that as well, you know, just join us in the room. Also, I have a wonderful trade template. It's free in my masterclass, which is also free. If you want to get a hold of that and, you know, check it out, maybe put it to the test, I know that it'll really improve your game. Go ahead and go over to momentumstocktraders.com. You don't have to even put an email address or anything. I don't ask for anything. I just like to give that to traders so that they can really improve their win rate. And that's what it's all about. So I invite you to go ahead and try that out over at momentumstocktraders.com. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you learned a couple of things maybe out of how to read a chart and how to plan your trades a little bit better. And if you did, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to the channel, because I do put these videos out occasionally. I don't publicly share all of my trade recaps. Once in a while I do, but I do share them with my coaching students, so they get to see everything. But anyway, subscribe to the channel. I put videos out quite often, and you want to be able to be notified when I put a new video out, okay? I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.